When a disaster happens, who do you call? 911, of course, for the first responders. But after the first 48 hours, who do you call? Who do you call after the first month? Who do you call after the first year? The Lutheran Disaster Response is a ministry that helps answer that question.
So disaster recovery is the process of helping people heal after a disaster.
A whole process that can be anywhere from a few weeks to several years.
The opportunities include administrative work, hands-on work, behind the scenes, getting things set up, preparing food, just a whole array of opportunities for people who want to serve.
Bring people back, maybe not whole, but back into their homes, back into their towns.
Fires, tornadoes, flooding, and the needs are many.
Talking to people and listening to their stories, meeting them where they are in their pain at that time, and trying to give a little glimmer of hope.
How long it takes. The flood that we are rebuilding from happened in August of 2021. As you drive around this community, you'll see how many homes are still in disarray.
Each season, groups of volunteers visit areas that have been affected by natural disasters to donate their time and skills to rebuild communities one project at a time. Along with following the commandment, love your neighbor as yourself, many of the volunteers donate their time for many different reasons.
Disaster relief is a way for me to share God's love with my hands and my heart, and with words that other people need in a really tough time.
I'm generally a helper by nature. I'm from a large family, so we just learn to kind of help each other out, and I like being active and feeling productive.
The Bible tells us to love, your neighbor as yourself. So I know if my home was destroyed in a flood or tornado or some type of natural disaster, I would hope that people would come and help me.
I've had a fair amount of experience with this sort of thing, so just trying to be a neighbor.
Being a Good Samaritan is more than just our call. It's also an awarding emotion that's bestowed on one for doing acts of service for one's neighbor.
It's just so rewarding doing something concrete for somebody.
I think God put us all here to help one another. It's all about community.
It feels really good to help others. Sometimes they want your help, sometimes they don't, but we still do what we can.
There is a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to serve.
It's heartwarming and heart healthy for everybody involved.
God has this already, and the Spirit's moving all the time in everything that we're doing.
Tonight, when those folks go to take their bath and they look up and they're not looking at cardboard in their window, that's God's hands, or that's God's work with our hands. There's no feeling like that.
The Lutheran Disaster Response is not just for individuals to volunteer, but it's also open for congregations to be a part.
Being part of a congregation in a community that has received a disaster, who's been in a disaster, you need to reach out to your neighbors who are hurting.
Each project not only builds up the communities and families, but it also strengthens relationships between volunteers with daily devotionals and the sharing of time.
We do have time to eat together and visit together, and obviously our pastors give us time to worship together. For example, one of the young ladies I'm with this week, we're already exchanging phone numbers and email addresses.
So why should you and your congregation be a part of this wonderful ministry?
I think you should try it because just, coming and hearing the stories of these people, getting to know them.
Our hope is to have teams in churches that will activate and travel together in 4s or 5s or 6s.
It takes a lot of different organizations and a lot of different people to come together to help a community heal.
If you're on the fence, you should at least try it once. Because I think one time is all it's going to take for you to want to keep coming back.
Lutheran Disaster Response, making a difference for our neighbor.